Today's topic is the power of inner truth. What does that mean? First of all, let's take the word truth. My truth and your truth are going to look really different. They're going to feel really different. Even when it seems similar, you're going to bring your history and I'm going to bring mine. You're going to bring your temperament. I'm going to bring mine. You're going to bring how you slept last night is going to affect your experience. If we take that to mean an example of your neuropathic experience right today, because we're not the same every day, depending on how we sleep, how we slept, how we eat, what our experiences are currently, what the background of our experiences. You get it, you know this. So what am I talking about? What's inner truth? So many people are looking for what they call an authentic self. They've been people pleasers, meaning they say yes when they mean no. They don't know their feelings, and they don't want to know their feelings because they've been trained that feelings hurt. Trained meaning that's their beliefs. We get it. When you were little and you had feelings, if there was nobody there to help settle you down, if there was nobody there to reach out and hand you a lifeline, then feelings are scary and we believe they are who we are. So that's why I'm always careful now to wake ourselves up from that hypnosis that we are our feelings. We've been taught that by society. Oh, he's an angry person. No such thing. Anger may happen quite a bit in that body mind, but his being is not an emotion. So that's a different topic for a different day. So I heard a quote from Jewel the singer, and she said, let's see if I can get it exactly right, or I'll just paraphrase it for you. Here it is. One of the reasons I was lonely when I was homeless is that I never told the truth. Now, this is in a little aside why this topic means so much to me. Because as a society, meaning lots of people, maybe there are some exceptions, but most people in our culture, and apparently most cultures around the world are becoming more like this, deny death and live as though we are going to live forever. And how do we get to this place? Well, we start out protecting children, shielding them until supposedly they're ready for the conversation about death. But that conversation doesn't happen unless they're faced with an animal that dies. And even then, people, if they can get away with it, replace the fish or say, oh no, the doggy went to another family because they could blah, 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 because they don't want to teach children about death because we have not dealt with death. We don't tell ourselves the truth about death. We're not trained to, we're not capable of it. But why is it important? Why is this talk called The Power of Inner Truth? Is exactly what Jules said. There is a disconnect. She said she was lonely. Loneliness, not fitting in, feeling suicidal, feeling disconnected, feeling like we don't belong, feeling like no one knows us. It starts with our not telling ourselves the truth. You'll find on my website easy places to find the 7 feelings as well as what it takes to be present. Happiness, joy, connection happen in the presence, in the present time, and with presence. So let's just, I'm not going to go over those feelings right now, but if you cannot admit to yourself that you feel pain because you're so afraid that the pain will take over, I hear that a lot, then you're going to feel a disconnect. And eventually, the disconnect is meant to make you feel better. I don't want to feel that pain. But if you understand how telling ourselves and our children untruths, if we understand that it has drastic effects that we don't want. We don't want to feel disconnected and inauthentic. Are we saying tell everyone the truth? No, we're not even talking about other people. We're just talking about what you say to yourself. So on a societal level, if we're saying with our actions, I'm just going to invest in anti-aging cream. I'm going to invest in this longevity program. 50 is the new 40. Whatever you tell yourself. Every day, each of us is moving toward death. And some of you have heard that there is an app called We Croak. They're trying to be funny, but it's based on the Bhutanese from Bhutan belief system that we're happier people when we deal with our truth. And our truth is that we're afraid of dying, that we're afraid of aging. And if we don't judge that, the fear is not the problem. The judging of it, the pushing away the fear is the problem. It's okay not to know how you will die, and will you have a complicated illness where you suffer, or will you die in your sleep? Unless children have been made to feel insecure, either because parents fight or they're overly attached, where they don't give the child some freedom and they're anxious. Let me do it with you. Let me go with you. Be careful. That child will feel anxious, and it may sound like they're afraid of dying or afraid of your dying. But little children don't have any theories or concepts about death until they pick them up from you. Our little grandson, when he saw his grandmother, his great-grandmother in the coffin, he said, "Night, night, Oma." He was not scared. He doesn't have anything on death until we teach them our stories about death. So, what would be of interest to you? Do you want to feel more connected to other people? Do you want to feel more connected to yourself? This is the biggest one. It's the one underneath all the others. And I have to say, when I first saw and heard Brene Brown talk about belonging to yourself, I didn't quite know what she meant. But when you won't admit what's passing through, emotions are energy passing through, unless you shove them down, and then they stay around, and you have to use your energy to keep them down, and then you're not present. And presence is where it's at. Notice if you're judging your feelings or you're scared of your feelings, you won't allow yourself to have your feelings. But we're all adults now. We're not the little kids that said it was too much to have a feeling. So this week, would you be willing to experiment and name feelings: joy, pain, anger, fear, imagined unworthiness, that would be shame, or perceived mistakes, that would be guilt. Is there a lust for life? Or are you just present? When you're just present, that's what follows allowing a feeling. Try telling yourself the truth, even just in little ways. Oh, I'm annoyed with what they're asking of me. Annoyed is on the anger scale. So take it a little bigger so you can name it, because you can't do anything about annoyed, but you can accept anger. Oh, that's what's going on. And I'll end with just a little story, which I feel was a gift. It was an intervention. So there is somebody who has taken money, some of you have heard that, a great deal of money, for service they have not complied with, not at all. So it's a great deal of money if you compare this check versus, it's the biggest check I've ever written. And the people and the company have not complied. And I am perfectly capable of hiring an attorney and having a legal whatever maneuver. And there's no question I've got a contract and no service was committed, but I'm involved with this person in the sense that there was a personal connection. And I just happened to, and I don't even know how to say, like, happen, how did it happen? I tuned into somebody I don't follow, and she was having a video with people talking. She was interpreting their pets to them. And I just tuned it on, somebody that is in my world, but I don't follow her. And this person that is responsible for taking the money and not providing the service was on there. And I saw her with her pet. I saw her the way she used to be before she was telling me stories about when it was going to be delivered and why it wasn't delivered and all kinds of crazy things that don't measure up to what was observable, which would be the contract fulfilled. And there was something that showed me that there was more than anger. There was more than disappointment. Disappointment is on the anger scale. So I had to call it anger. There was more than that self-righteous feeling. Tap in with me right now. When someone has, in your mind, wronged you, feel that pumped up feeling like I'm right, I have right on my side, I spent the money, I have the contract, they didn't fulfill it, right? It's an open and shut case. When I saw her in her sweet, undefended self without her animal, laughing, just being vulnerable, I remembered the love that I have for this person. And at least for now, I did not want to follow through on the legal case. I still might do it. I haven't closed that door. But I connected with her. But first, I had to connect with myself and say, that was pain. There was pain that happened as a result of the lack of fulfillment of this contract. Probably some feelings of unworthiness because I'm the one who decided to go for this service. And I consider myself a great judge of character. So that pumped up feeling of being right disconnected me from myself and from how I would like to feel about her, remembering how dear she is to me and that I don't know. It's incomprehensible to me why this service has never been delivered. I do not know the whole story. I can't fathom it. And my choices are still there, but I feel connected in my heart. And I wrote to her and I said, is it too late for us? I saw you on that animal talking show. And of course, she was very sweet and said how she adored me. I believe she adores me. I don't necessarily believe that she's going to fulfill the contract. So what I'll do is not known to me, but I was back in connection with myself. And that's why inner honesty is powerful. Because now if I did sue her, it wouldn't be about that venom or righteousness or that disconnect where I'm wrong, she's wrong and I'm right. It would be, I think, I don't know, I'm not ready to do it now. I want to hold on to the current feeling and give her the opportunity to complete this. But being connected back to my own heart, if you will, is the result of telling ourselves the truth. So I hope you'll play with that and come back to me and see if just naming a feeling telling yourself the truth about a situation. Like, I am nervous about how, nervous meaning fear, or I have concerns that might be painful about my death. I know I'm talking about death because it's of interest for me in a future TEDx talk. So I'm very interested in why we play games about death and why we are so unskilled with grief and death. And I think it's down to the lies that we tell ourselves, or that we've been taught to pretend these different things that aren't true, like live like you're going to live forever. I'm like, that's a good method. So bye for now. Let me know how this lands on you.